Hi, Tarot Tribe. I'm here today with another Kickstarter deck that I'm going to sort of do a first impressions and flip through. Um, I'm trying to sort of stay on top of it. I have a whole slew of decks I still have yet to get to, and I will be trying to kind of upload as much as I can over the next little while. For those of you who enjoy my videos, if you could just click subscribe, like and subscribe, that would be great. That helps with my algorithm. I am trying to get to 1,000. That's my goal. So that I can start sort of building this whole thing up. So this is my way to kind of begin my whole connection with everyone and to sort of get a little bit of a presence here. So anyways, to get back to this deck, this arrived and with it came this really cool 4x6 print. And there is also, I think, a sticker at the back. Make sure I've been playing with the lighting here, so I don't know how this is going to go, but we shall see. So that was a kind of bonus unlocking upgrade that happens when they kind of, meet or surpass their goal. So as far as this deck is concerned, it comes in, it's a bit of a larger size deck. So it's more of what I would consider an oracle size, which is cool. I did that with my tarot deck, so made it a little bit bigger. And it comes in a really nice, sturdy box. Her artwork is just so much fun. It's whimsical. So it's Monica Knighton at monicaknighton.com. So here's the back. And just so whimsical. So I'll read to you what it says on the back. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild with a fairy, hand in hand for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. So it's inspired by the William Butler Yeats poem, The Stolen Child. Nature-based imagery, no man-made objects. It's a very personal project. From what I gathered on her profile on Kickstarter, she's from Texas, and her illustrating art that she does is this kind of fairy type. Oh, here it is. She specializes in storybook, folklore, and monster imagery, which is cool. And she's created a previous deck called the Tarot of the Dead, which is a Spanish-English tarot deck inspired by Mexican Dia de los Muertos. I don't even know if I said that right. Holiday. And of course, it's inspired by the Yeats poem. So, very creative idea to sort of take a poem and to use that as kind of inspiration. So I love that. I love when artists are so artistic and do that. So as you can see, this has one of the, it's one of my favorite types of boxes. You know, I love a sturdy box. And there's in the inside. And this cool thing here is you can, what are those things called? It's like that code, right? So you can download the guidebook from that. So there's no guidebook that comes with it, but there is access to a guidebook here. As you know, I don't read guidebooks. And I know that people feel compelled often to add them to their decks. I don't know who they think, especially when you're an indie artist creator, the vast majority of people who are going to buy your decks are probably not new tarot people. And even if they are, I don't think they're going to use your deck as their kind of learning tool. They're probably better off using, which was my rationale for doing it. So yeah, I never look at the decks, although I think it's lovely when, the work and effort that people put into it. But I'm really about sort of the decks themselves. So if we can take a look at here, this whole lighting situation for me is like driving me crazy. I wanted to get some more light. So that's the backing. I'm going to see if you can see it a little bit better. It's like two children. Here. That's better, Wilma. It does have that like storybook feel about it. I love that. So there are extra cards in it. So here we have, is it focusing in? That's an extra card. Let me make sure that we don't get a glare on it there. And that's an extra card. Okay, so as for the cardstock itself, it has a linen feel to it. Now, it's not like super thick cardstock, although it, and it's got a nice bendability. So for those of you who like that, I know there's some people who like a deck that is a little bit more flexible because they like to do their rifling thing with their deck. I do sometimes, if I have a deck that I can do that with, although I suck at it. So generally it's just sort of the overhand thing for me. So, but it does have the nice linen feel to it, and it does feel like it's quite sturdy. So, and of course, so it's not a matte feel, but it's got that linen-y feel to it. Okay, so this is our Fool. Oh, the baby. So cute. So this is really, it definitely has that kind of storybook feel about it. So for those of you who like sort of a more of a whimsical, and it almost feels vintage to me in a way, the artwork, because when those books of those storybooks from when I was a kid that had the drawings were, it just feels to me like that kind of artwork. And this is the Empress, which is a big mama bear. And the baby is a little kid in a bear suit. That's so cute. And the Emperor. So yes, definitely for kind of connecting with your inner child, the Hierophant. And of course, mostly animals in nature, the lovers, and I'm getting dings. So my apologies. I'm making sounds. Chariot. Oh, riding a turtle. Justice. And it's the bee and the honeycomb. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. And I guess the wheel is meant to be the, not sure what kind of animal that is, but rolled up. And this is strength in the position 11. So that's a little bit of a switch, justice and strength, for those who care about that. The Hangman. Oh, okay. Interesting. He's upside down in the tree. Okay, so Oh, this is cool. So instead of calling it something, she just has the number 13. So I guess you can call it what you want. Temperance gets a frog. And the devil and the tower and the star the moon. So the hare and the moon, which is quite neat. So I don't know this poem. I don't know if anyone else does. The sun. But now I'm going to have to read it because I have this deck. Judgment. Cocoon. So it's what's really interesting is that her images, of course, her choice of imagery is really kind of her interpretation, which is really cool. The world. Okay, Ace of Flame. Okay, so I guess she's changed around the elements. Instead of wands to flame. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Now this is interesting because of course with 8 normally it's about movement. She's got all the snake sort of. So yeah, so this would be I think an interesting deck to kind of do a more kind of intuitive reading, and also like I said for that childlike energy, also that fairy energy. I'm just gonna go through it. We're at the night now. Queen. Okay, so Ace of Brine, which I'm assuming is cups because it's water or salt water, right? And the animals in the water. So I think she did just just the whole idea, and the artwork of course is beautiful, right? Which for me, in my reason for just loving tarot and loving all these new indie decks and all these artists is just the artwork, right? And people's interpretation and how they kind of use tarot as a vehicle for their expression. We're at night now. So, Queen. That was that image, I think. And of course, there's so many decks out now that you can find what what suits you, right? What is your style. Now I have a very broad appreciation, so there's not a whole lot I don't enjoy and care for, or can't find something to like and appreciate. Although that's, there's some decks that I connect with better than others. There's decks that are definitely decks that I will use and I read, and I'll have them for specific reading scenarios. And then there's other decks that I think they're part of my collection. They're beautiful, but they're just not ones that I will necessarily use in my readings per se. They're just part of the beautiful artwork that I love to collect. That's not to say I won't pick them up at some point and read with them. Again, when, decks like these that don't necessarily follow like a Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism are, although this one, Zephyrs for this one. It's just so beautiful. They also allow you to kind of, be a little bit more intuitive and kind of even maybe interpret, things in a different way, which I think is sometimes really great. I know that I have decks that, I will read one card in one deck slightly differently than I will in another deck, just because the imagery of, one deck to the other just might bring something out a little bit more. So that's what's really great about different decks and different interpretations here. So I'm just kind of going through here. I know I'm not naming off the cards, but the cards are, the names of the elements are different. Of course, this one is oak, and that would be the pentacles, of course. And people dinging me to watch their YouTube. I have notifications. And the last. So this was like I said, this was a Kickstarter deck. I went on to the Kickstarter, and I think she's still now selling them, I'm assuming, on her website. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is very flexible for those of you who would like to do that shuffling that I don't do very well. So, and then in a really nice sturdy box. I love a sturdy box. And so I was quite taken with this. I don't normally tend to pick up a whole lot of sort of more whimsical childlike decks, but there's just ones that will, just things that will attract me, that I see that I kind of really and certainly when I saw her artwork on Kickstarter, I was very drawn to it. So this is the Stolen Child Tarot, and it is available now. I just actually got it in the mail today. So, I opened it up and thought, I'll just quickly do a little flip through with that. So, for those of you who are interested in something a little bit more childlike and whimsical, it's definitely a deck to consider. And I was very pleased about this. So I'm starting to accumulate some of these sort of prints and stuff from all these Kickstarter decks I'm getting. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. Maybe I should put together a little tarot art wall or something, maybe behind me or something. I don't know. We will see. But yeah, it's really cool to kind of get these little additional pieces. One of the great things about, Kickstarter is that, sometimes you'll get added things that you wouldn't if you just bought the deck directly off someone's website. So I've quite enjoyed my experiences. Again, you never sort of know. You are kind of putting your faith in someone when you are giving your money, but that's like with anything when you purchase a deck. And but so far I've had great success and good luck with that. And so it's definitely a place to kind of find new and interesting decks and from different people. And I like the fact that, artists are really taking sort of that, that self-publishing into their own hands. For so many years, people have been at the mercy of, sort of gatekeepers who kind of make their own interpretations and judgments on whether or not, they want to sort of invest in you. And, Kickstarter is just a great opportunity for just people every day who really want to kind of get connected and support and put their work out there. So I definitely recommend it. I haven't had a bad experience yet. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. So that's a Stolen Child Cheryl. Hope you like it. Please like and subscribe. I got to remember to say that. That's one of the things. I have to remember to say that all the time because everyone does it and I need to remind people. So is it down there, up there, over there? I don't know. But do it. See you.